Let me conclude by saying all those 500 vacancies, and this is where I'd like an answer because I generally don't get answers from this committee. Those 500 vacancies that were offered at SAPS, how many of those opportunities went to colored boys and girls? Because right here in the Western Cape, within SAPS, we are being underemployed. We are not being allowed to grow via promotions or via training. And I believe this is a countrywide thing. I believe that the South African Police Services not only is the most corrupt. Chairperson, can I finish? Not only is
please conclude.
It's also the most racist. Because I can't walk into a police station without looking for a colored person in the Western Cape of all places. I must inform you that colored people are still in the majority here. We're just not being given opportunity. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Adams.
Chairperson, Honorable, I don't know if you start going to continue. He's intermittent, Chair, if I may.
Please go ahead, Honorable Adams.
Thank you, Chairperson, Minister, all members of SAPS and all colleagues. I've got a good few questions, Chairperson, but first I must just state that these Zoom meetings are becoming a bit tedious because I'm always losing signal all the time. So it was a long, exhaustive presentation, Chairperson, and I must say I'm very disappointed because there are so many inconsistencies in what was said here, and I'm going to point them all out if you grant me the time. Lieutenant General Shamani, you spoke extensively on fake news on social media, and I agree with you. A lot of what is being said about SAPS on social media is untrue, but we ignore it because it doesn't really impact SAPS. Well, not on a service delivery level, because people don't take SAPS seriously anymore. But off the subject of fake news and on the subject of real news, at Langleni Police District, the police station, the DPCI case. The case number 1/11/2024, 150 million rand drugs confiscated, the biggest bust in the country for years. SAPS didn't issue a statement. I mentioned it in the last meeting. No one brought it here. This is not going away. I'll tell you why SAPS never issued a statement. Because this news is never to be transmitted. Because the people implicated are connected, and this case is going to go away. We won't let it, just so that you guys know. Now, I want to move on to the issue of Brigadier Langweni, General Theo, and General Khan. 3 members of SAPS. 2 of them fired, one expeditiously, the other one by a fitness board. No disciplinary hearings afforded. General Khan, you attempted to fire him expeditiously. He took it to court. He won it in court, in the High Court, mind you. Probably at a cost of 500,000 rand to us taxpayers. You lost on the DC. The man was acquitted. Don't come to this meeting and tell us that the case has been finalized. Come here and tell us the truth. The man was acquitted. He was falsely accused. Falsely accused by whom, we want to know. Now, there was a criminal element to this case. Those people were never prosecuted. But you attempted to dismiss General Khan as if he was an accessory. The man was persecuted by members of SAPS, high-ranking members of SAPS that sit in this meeting. Members of this portfolio have made statements against Brigadier Langweni, General Theo, General Khan. And I have full faith in the justice system that the other 2 members will be brought back because they've been fired using the wrong method. Now, I ask you a question, sir. Why was General Lushaba not dismissed in the same manner for the same thing as General Theo is accused of? Why is he being protected? Is he being protected because his signatures are all over the purchases of those hotels you were never supposed to buy? Because moving on to the issue of the hotels, SAPS has no right to buy. They can't buy buildings. They don't have it. But they're buying it anyway. But the NASCOM is sitting here acting as if it doesn't happen, Chairperson. Why is the NASCOM not taking action against people like General Lushaba that are buying properties without tax money, using Secret Service funds, which they should not be doing? I want to move on from there and say the 415 million rand that has been spent on the political killing stars team for 130 murders is disgraceful. And I'll tell you where the 415 million rand comes from. I'll tell you. Because the slide only gave us very, very scant information as to the spend. These people are being housed in 4- and 5-star hotels and lodges. The political killing stars team is nothing more than a terror group. Why is the murder of Magaka not being investigated by this team? I'll tell you why, Chairperson. because that murder will trace the AK-47 that was used to kill this poor man back to crime intelligence. The weapon was bought with Secret Service money. So the political killing stars team, with all this money on their hands, with all this time, does not go and track the killing of a young black man that stood up to corruption in KZN. They nitpick their cases. Minister, we fully support your effort to disband the stars team in the face of the generals that are refusing to do it. Officer Dlamini was mentioned. It is very interesting, Chairperson, that in our interview with Officer Sergeant Dlamini, he said that General Khumalo gave him an unlawful instruction which he refused to answer, which he refused to do. 2 weeks later, he was arrested for defeating the ends of justice. He's been held on trial for 5 years for a non-violent crime. Coincidentally, the magistrate, the judge at the regional court that found him guilty, surname is Khumalo. If you go and read the transcripts from that court case, I've given it to an advocate. She says, no way can this man be found guilty. We need to appeal this. Now, I'm going to say to you, sir, that in light of what has happened here, are we as the public, members of this portfolio, within our rights to doubt what's happening at Crime Intelligence? I think we are. But I just want to add one more thing before I let you go, before you let me go, Chairperson. I just need to find it on my phone because, as luck would have it, my tablet packed up. Well, there are two more things I want to say. General Abia did not institute proceedings against General Kadwa on the same facts as what General Khan was prosecuted for. Is it because General Khan is a minority, or is it because he's in the way? General Tiani blocked every attempt to abuse that slush fund, and he was removed. I mean, Brigadier Langweni, Tiani Langweni, was removed using a manner that is, let's just call it distasteful for now. But here's the kicker. That same Brigadier Tiani is the man who reported all of this madness to the Zondo Commission. How come this was not brought before this committee? Because this whole presentation was half-baked. Facts have been omitted and facts have been twisted. The NASCOM must tell us, the political killing stars team, is it funded with the open account or the secret account? Because I heard both, and I need to know if it's legal. And this thing is recorded, so we'll go back to the recording because the NASCOM actually did contradict himself. But above all, Tiani, Tio, Khan, 3 generals with full security clearance are being prosecuted and persecuted by generals without security clearance, with cooked security clearance. Now, explain this to me. General Madondo has no security clearance, but the name is brought up as if she belongs there. She should not be in that position as per, excuse me, as per the recommendation by Commissioner Sitoli of 2018, nobody is supposed to be acting in a position that they're not fit for. But these people are being appointed. Is crime intelligence nothing more than a mafia? It appears so. But let me conclude. Let me conclude by saying all those 500 vacancies, and this is where I'd like an answer, because I generally don't get answers from this committee. Those 500 vacancies that were offered at SAPS, how many of those opportunities went to colored boys and girls? Because right here in the Western Cape, within SAPS, we are being underemployed. We are not being allowed to grow via promotions or via training. And I believe this is a countrywide thing. I believe that the South African Police Services not only is the most corrupt. Chairperson, can I finish? Not only is
please conclude.
It's also the most racist. Because I can't walk into a police station without looking for a colored person in the Western Cape of all places. I must inform you that colored people are still in the majority here. We're just not being given opportunity. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Adams. I'm going to head over to Honorable Taibosh.